Hello everybody, vanburman here. Welcome to another episode of my amazing, informatively brilliant videos. I wanted to do a little bit of a topical video today because, as you know, I got a new graphics card yesterday and it turned out it's already broken. I'm using it now though to record, and I will explain what's wrong with it. And I also wanted to do a little sort of tutorial video for some ways you can work out what's wrong with your card. Now, the thing about the GTX 295 is I can't show you because it's actually in the system, but there is a picture of the model which I have on the screen for you, just underneath, just there. And yeah, the thing about the GTX 295 is that it's effectively an SLI card in one. It's got two graphics, two GPUs in there, so two processing units, and yeah, as I say, it sort of runs together. I'm not sure. It doesn't actually have a specific. It's not like two. It's not like two GTX 660s put together, and it's not two GTX. It's basically like a GTX 260 and a GTX 280, which is pretty much the impression I've got from reading around reviews, because it sort of has the strength from both, but then it also has, you know, weaknesses as well from both. But it is a very good card. It's quite old now. It's about 5 years old since it was first released. And I'll let you know, it could pretty much still run everything now if it was working. And I was using it yesterday because I decided that because I don't know when I'm going to get my 770, as you know, as I explained. And you know, this card here, while it's a very good card, well, it's not very good, but while it's a very useful card, this is the 5670, and it's got the VTX cooler on it as well, which I have to say, from what I've been speaking to Dead Man Fall, this makes a huge amount of difference, this fan on it. But no, this is a very, very useful card. It's only 1 gig of DDR3. The GTX 295 is actually DDR3 as well, but it is 1.7 or 1.78, I guess, gigabytes of DDR3. I think it's like nearly 900 or 870 something on each GPU in that card. But you know, this one does run actually really well. It just doesn't. It's just not going to work for recording, which is the problem. Which is what I thought. The boost, and it was pretty good. Well, it's obviously not the boost edition, but the GTX 295 was very good for the money as well. It was actually one of the cheapest cards that they had in the shop which I went into. It's a second-hand shop, quite a famous one in the UK. I won't name names. And since I figured out the problem with it, I've been quite surprised that it's not been detected by them. I mean, you know, this is obviously probably most likely a card that someone has brought in to, you know, exchange or sort of for cash or something, and you know, you would have thought they'd do a bit more rigorous testing on it than just saying, right, plug it in, it seems to work, it's fine, off you go. So I'm going to go through the problems, but I'm going to go through how I detected them. For a starter, I had driver problems with it, but that's to be expected considering, you know, it is quite an old card now, and I have obviously the new, I can't remember what it's called now, GeForce Experience or NVIDIA Experience, whatever it is. I've got that installed, and obviously this one isn't compatible because I think it's only from the 400 series cards onwards. But I did manage to download the latest drivers, and I got it all working in the end anyway. And I'll just show to you that the two GPUs do actually show up. So here I've got my device manager. Can I stretch out? Yes, I can. And it's on display adapters. So as you can see here, we've got, basically, I was wondering why there was two. I was a bit confused for a while. Hopefully you can see this okay. And it's actually because of the two processing units that it's got in the card. So that's fine, and they both show up. So it both seems like they should work. And I was playing DayZ, you know, because I've been playing DayZ recently, and I also recorded my video on it, which actually didn't go too badly, so maybe this thing can record. Maybe that's going to be my conclusion. But obviously any card can record, but record well. But the problem was that it was really slow. I mean, it was maybe 10% faster than this, which is not a big improvement considering the fact that the 295 is a far superior card to this. I mean, I was looking at benchmarks, I honestly was, and that card is over 300% better than this one. That's the difference in performance you should be seeing, and I was seeing about 10. And the reason is if you haven't guessed it already, I'm going to tell you one of the GPUs is gone, which means effectively it's 800 and something megabyte DDR3 card. So it's basically like a GTX 270, I guess, sort of, which only puts it slightly above this. So that's why there wasn't much improvement at all. And it's a big problem, obviously, because, you know, for what I've actually bought, I spent quite a lot of money, really. I mean, this card should have been maybe half the price if it's only got one GPU working. So, yeah, problem. But, how did I describe it? How did I figure it out, even? Oh, I think I've lost the icon for it. But, what I did was, which was quite ingenious, I was trying to figure out, because I had crashing as well on DayZ, which was really annoying, because there's no way I should be getting crashing. I wasn't getting crashing on anything else, but it was quite slow as well on other things that I tried it on. It wasn't as I expected it to be, which would be a very good stopgap for the time being. And, what have I done with it? I'm trying to find, I thought it was up here. I put it in the recycle bin. No. Oh, it's there. Goodness me. It's been a long day already. Right. Oh, I had the old GTX 770 picked up today, so hopefully we'll be getting some improvement on that. More information on that. Here you can see here we have the two. This is showing us the temperature and the load of the two GPUs. As you can see, the second you just want to see the comparison between the two, and the problem is that one works and one doesn't. I mean, yes, there's 2 load on the first one. Actually, I was getting 1% before, so I don't know why it's on 2 now. And yeah, the problem is it's not utilising both. So let's try. See, memory size should technically be higher, but anyway, I can't remember what I used actually. I think I used this. And we'll use wavy plane, so you can actually see the test going on. I'll stick it there. But it's really this top bit you want to be watching, because look, you can see the difference in the load speed in the load. This one's running at 90, that one's running at 3. It's gone down. Now both of them should be working here. Both of them should be on. Both of them should be pulling 90 basically. And as you can see on the stress, you probably can't see it, but on the combustor part, it's only actually running at an average frame rate of 26. Now this thing should be pulling it, for the resolution, should be, I don't know, doubling that really. Maybe not doubling it, but you know. And it's quite obvious that the first GPU is broken. The second one is the only one that's working. But the first one isn't completely knackered for the fact that it still registers. And that's the problem. And I have to say, I'm actually getting better results this time than I was. Actually, it's a bit strange this time, because last time I did it, the GPU 2 was running at like 98%, and the GPU 1 was running at 5. So yeah, one sort of decreased a little bit and one sort of increased a little bit. But the fact of the matter is that the first GPU is obviously not working. It's damaged. There's something wrong with it. I don't know what. But it works just enough that, you know, it can be detected. It doesn't work very well because it crashes games. So yeah, basically that's what I wanted to show. And you know, these things can be difficult to spot, because it's not an easy thing to do, to spot, you know, those sort of problems in your graphics card at all. So I just wanted to say that really, and always be wary of buying second-hand cards. I mean, you know, I do buy it from if I'm going to buy second-hand cards now, I'll buy it from a shop, you know, because they're a lot easier to deal with generally. You know you're going to get a certain amount of guarantee, whereas people might not be willing to do it, and if you haven't spent enough money, it's not worth chasing them up for the small claims court, for example. So you've got all those things to consider. Generally, always go and buy a new one, but at the minute, I want the 770, and yeah, the company which I bought the 770 from, I also bought the 280X from, so they owe me lots of refunds. So as you can imagine, heck of a lot of my money is tied up in them at the minute, which is a bit disappointing. And but I will be getting a refund for this card later today, which means I will be back to this, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, you know, this thing is brilliant, quite frankly, for the price I paid for it. It has saved me, you know. a certain sense. What allowed me to be able to play games where otherwise I might not have been able to because I didn't have a graphics card. Anyway guys, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've liked the video, hopefully it's been informative. It probably hasn't helped you unless you have a very similar specific issue. But yeah, you know, if you do have a card that's got 2 GPUs in and it's running slow, you need to check it, because chances are one of them's gone. So as bad as difficult as that is to say for me, because you know I'm really disappointed that it doesn't work, quite frankly. It was a good price as well, which I was a bit surprised to find, but I just thought because it was an older series card, they'd obviously made it cheaper, because it is a bit outdated and it's not DX11 either, it's only DX10, although the 5670 is only DX10 as well, so it depends how you want to look at it. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you very soon.